I've already prepared breakfast, so jump to it. Yes, ma'am. Come to think of it, I'm so hungry I could eat one of Mary's goats. How about you, Luke? Now that you mention it, I'm definitely ready for breakfast. You certainly both love your food. Personally, I'd like a little more sleep. Right then, let's eat breakfast and make our way to court. Excuse me. Right, yeah, Professor. I'm sure Espella must be feeling lonely. No, and Mr. Wright, could you perhaps take something from the bakery for her? You bet. I'm sure Espella will be glad to get some of Patty's freshly baked bread. Come on, what are you all waiting for? Breakfast is ready. Alright, we're coming. Well then, let's dig in. As it seems, we are all ready to go. Shall we make our way to the court? So does everyone remember how to get there? Sure, we just head east from here. And it's on the other side of the forest, isn't it? Boy, Espella must be feeling so sad and lonely. Let's get a move on. Let's go! Coming back here makes me remember yesterday's trial. Espella's still being held somewhere inside the building. Yeah, and it's up to us to get her out as soon as we can. The first thing we should do is make sure we're allowed to see her. You there. Yes, you. Uh-oh. There's nothing like a confrontation first thing in the morning to keep you on your toes. We're here to, visit our client. It's not you we're interested in. It's Darkhead over there. He's to come with us immediately. Who, sir? Who? Sir? Who, sir? Me, sir? Yes, sir. You, sir. What have you done this time? But, Professor, did you do something? I wonder what it could be. Luke, do you have any idea? But Professor... Don't play innocent with us. The order came from the storyteller himself. You have been personally summoned to the audience room to see the storyteller. The audience room? Meeting the storyteller in person is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a person. There's no one in all of Labyrinthia who wouldn't be proud to meet him. That goes for us knights, too, although such an honor is almost unheard of. Nevertheless, those were the orders, to have Herschel Layton make his way to the audience room. Very well, and in this audience room, the storyteller will be waiting to see me. Is that correct? What? Why does the storyteller want to see the professor? Yeah, what's going on here anyway? Would it be possible to go there after having seen Miss Cantabella? The storyteller's orders is of the absolute highest priority. Nothing can take precedence. But... Not only that, but in any event, you are not permitted to see the accused. Why would that be? Permission to see the accused is restricted to Defender Wright and his assistant. Those are the orders. What do you make of that, Professor?
They're trying to drive us apart a bit.
Make of it what you will. Orders are orders. Very well. Let's go and meet the storyteller. That's more like it. Professor, Are you really planning on meeting with the storyteller? It might be a trap. While I do sense the potential of a scheme here, I'd be foolish to pass up the opportunity to meet with this town's creator. There are rather too many things that I would like to ask him. I see.
If the professor is going, then I'm going too. After all, I'm the professor's apprentice. Be careful, Luke. I'm sure you'll be just fine as long as you stay with the professor. I will. And please give Espella our best. Oh, and Maya, could you give Espella the bread from Miss Eclair? Sure thing, Luke.
Well, if you've finally finished talking, I would suggest wasting no more time. You'll find the audience room beyond the guard post to east of the Great Archive. And Defender, you should see the accused. Well, it would seem we must go our separate ways for the time being. Yeah, it looks like it. Well, take care, Professor. And you too, Mr. Wright. I wish you both luck. Damn. I wonder why he couldn't come, though. I'm curious about that.
Well, there they go. Do you think they'll be okay?
The Professor and Luke, I think they can take care of themselves. Anyway. We should hurry up and talk to Espella.
Right. Even though she tries to hide it inside, she must be terrified.
What if she's found guilty of being a witch? What would we do then? Last night we saw with our own eyes what they do to witches.
It's not right. Any world where things like that are allowed to happen isn't right.
I know, Maya. But for now, we have no choice. We have to clear Espella of the charges. We need to focus on that and that alone.
The Great Witch Bezella. I wonder why they suspect Espella of being her.
I don't know. But if we're lucky, maybe she'll be able to shed some light on it. Hey, Defender. It's time for you to see the accused.
Well, this is it, Nick.
It sure is. Let's go, Maya. Okay. Let's do this.
Espella. Mr. Wright. Maya. Espella.
So, this is the Death Knell dungeon. Looks more like solitary confinement to me.
Don't worry, I'm fine, really. I was a little surprised at how hard the bed was, though.
Espella.
Oh, that's right. I have something for you. Here, the boss made it for you. Look, it's our special walnut bread. You should try it. Aunt Patty made that for me. Thank you, Maya. We'll get you home soon. Then we can all sit down and eat Patty's freshly baked bread together.
Yeah, that would be nice. We're going to have you out of here soon, so don't you worry, Espella.
But are you sure you want to do that? What are you talking about, Espella? Do you really want to continue defending me, Mr. Wright?
What? Of course I do. What made you say that?
You do both know what I've been charged with, don't you? Sure we do. They're accusing you of being Bezella, the source of all witches here in Labyrinthia. That's right. And anyone who defends such a suspect will also come under suspicion themselves. People are likely to criticize you and make you suffer all on my account. I can't ask you to defend me. I don't want you suffering because of me.
Listen to me, Espella. We're already suffering just seeing you here in this prison. Do you honestly think we just stand around not doing anything?
Mr. Wright. Hey, I think I get it, Espella. I bet you're just worried that Nick will slip up the way he always does. Huh? Trust me, there's nothing to worry about. The Professor and Luke are on our side, too. No, that's not what I meant. I wouldn't think that at all. Mr. Wright, you were just amazing. You and Mr. Layton both, it was like you were working magic together.
Well, that settles it then, Espella. Don't worry, we're going to be there for you. We'll fight to the very end.
The two of us, the professor and Luke, we'll all be working together on this thing. We won't let you down. Aww. What's wrong, Espella? It's just that the only one who's ever been this kind to me before is Aunt Patty. I don't know what to say. Espella, I'm not sure how to say this, but it seems that the townsfolk are distancing themselves from you. It's as if they fear you for some reason. Yeah, I can't believe they'd all think a cute girl like you could be the Great Witch. Espella, we heard from High Inquisitor Darklaw that there's a reason why people are so suspicious of you. If it's okay with you, we'd like you to tell us what that reason is. The reason the townsfolk suspect you and why they are so distant. Alright, I guess I never had the chance to explain properly. It's true that the townsfolk look at me differently. And the reason for that is because I am...
She's probably like the granddaughter of the witch, or like something of a descendant, and they think that just because of that, she's really the witch or something.
Well, Professor, we've reached the library. And the place at which the storyteller is waiting for us is east of here, isn't it? Indeed. According to the knight, the audience room is past the guard post. I wonder what the creator of Labyrinthia wants to talk to you about, Professor. It's too soon to assume anything, Luke. But whatever it might be, I have a few things that I would like to ask him, too. We should be thankful that this opportunity has come so soon. Even if it is part of some scheme. Let's go, Professor. To the audience room.
Let's do this.
Ah, aren't you Herschel Layton, the Hatter?
Well, I'm not a hatter, although I certainly am Herschel Layton. I've been told that my presence is requested in the audience room.
I've definitely heard something about that, but it's beyond me why. With all due respect, why would the storyteller invite mere commoners to the audience room?
Aren't people normally allowed to visit?
Of course not. Both the audience room and the tower in which he resides are areas of strict surveillance. One does not simply visit the storyteller.
Did you say tower?
The storyteller's tower, naturally. Don't tell me you've never heard of it. He only comes out of his tower to appear before the people in his parades. The audience room is where the storyteller comes whenever there is a parade. We, the Order of Knights, provide his protection from this guard post. We feel honored by his presence, even if he doesn't speak to us.
I see. Then it would seem we are extremely privileged to have been invited here.
Don't let it get to your head. Wait here while I open the gate.
Come to think of it, during the parade, the storyteller did seem to be held in high esteem by all the townsfolk. Indeed, Luke. After all, he is the author of this town's story. So he is effectively like some kind of god. Like a god?
No! Someone tell me this isn't happening!
There seems to be some commotion over there. It's that knight. He's coming back this way and he doesn't look too happy.
This is bad, really bad. What am I going to do?
What's the matter?
Well, actually, Dark Hat, the gate won't open. It's broken and I can't fix it.
So what happens now? What happens now?
I wish I knew. What am I to do? We need to do something. Can't keep the storyteller waiting. If we do, there goes my career as a knight. Unless aren't you two meant to be good at finding people?
Finding people? I wouldn't say we're particularly good at good.
Don't say that. I need your help here. There's one knight who is able to fix the gates, but he's busy training with the other knights. I'd like to call him back here without disturbing the others, but in armor they all look the same. The only way to identify him is to look for a knight with an unusually shaped sword.
Unusually shaped sword. How interesting. Professor, doesn't that mean... Indeed, my boy. It means we can tackle this the way we would a puzzle.
So, will you find him?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, a knight with a weird sword.
It's lunchtime, and the knights are all eager to eat their share. They have all stabbed their swords into the massive piece of
meet at the same time. One of the swords is not standard knight issue, and has an oddly curved blade. Examine the blades, find the owner of the strange sword. Okay, let's check this out. So,
this guy here's sword has to be this one. This guy's here sword has to be that one. This guy here's sword has to be this one. This guy's sword has to be that one. This guy's sword has to be that one. This guy's sword is that one. It has an unusually curved edge, right? Is that what they said? This looks weird here. This is his sword, yeah, right? Going down, and this is his sword going up. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm going with him. Submit.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
There you go.
You should expect no less from a gentleman.
First try pronus. Thanks to you, Sir Hatter, I've been able to have it repaired immediately.
I'm glad you were able to fix it. A puzzle like that is a piece of cake for the professor.
As I suspected all along, you're certainly no ordinary gentleman. Sir Hatter, Herschel Layton, shall henceforth be allowed to pass through this gate freely.
Thank you, kind sir.
Please make your way to the storyteller as swiftly as possible.
Alright, let's just go back. Okay.
Wow! No matter where I look, there are knights everywhere.
Yes, indeed. The knights have their guard post on this side of the gate. Given the grandness of the scale, I imagine they are living here too.
But I wonder exactly where around here we're supposed to meet the storyteller. That knight said to go to the audience room, wherever that is. With a name as grand as Audience Room, you'd think it would be easy to notice.
Luke, can you see the long flight of stairs over there? I think we should go and take a look.
A flight of stairs. Ah, I see it.
Yeah, that looks right.
There's also a building over there. Looks rather stately. Do you think that's where the audience room is?
Indeed, my boy. However, there seems to be something going on over there. From the looks of things, I don't think we'll be able to just ignore it and stroll right by. At any rate, let's go take a look. Who's that guy? How many times do I gotta tell you? I ain't the suspicious guy you're after. And you expect us to believe you, just because you say so, eh? You can save us all the time and trouble here just to admit your guilt and be done with it. You gotta be kidding me. This is a false accusation. Come on, why won't you listen to me? I admit my face might look a little scary, sure, but I'm telling you straight. My pals are always saying there's no one with a purer heart than good old Gutta. Oh, spare me. We're getting nowhere here. Hey, Knight. Yes, sir. Put this miserable wretch into solitary confinement. Yes, sir, Captain. Oi, oi, what are you doing? I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you. You seem to have your hands full here. May I ask what happened? Hey, if it isn't you two, do you mean to tell me you're the ones that the storyteller has summoned?
That's us, alright. So you can't go chasing us around the way you did before.
Rats. By the way, Captain, what has that man been accused of? What has he done? He is guilty of carrying out a heinous crime of assault and theft. How many times do I gotta say it? It weren't me. It's a false accusation. I'm totally innocent. Silence. Who else could have done it? Could you tell me a little more about this? Well, I had a feeling you'd want to know. You seem to like poking your nose into other people's business. A series of thefts have been occurring in this town, and at the same time, a suspicious figure has been sighted. Now I ask you, does this man not look suspicious to you? Clearly it has to be him. You got it all wrong. I heard there was a thief in the area. That's why I teamed up with them townsfolk to keep a lookout for the blighter. For the blighter? And that ain't all. I even found a way to make sure every darn corner of this town was being watched. We placed ourselves in positions where we didn't obstruct one another's line of sight. Catch my drift? The suspicious figure you guys mentioned, there ain't no way that it was me. So you're saying that you watched every part of the town, while at the same time avoiding overlapping each other's search. That's impossible. You committed the crimes and are lying to cover yourself. I wonder if you're perhaps mistaken. It might just be true. For example, if they positioned themselves like this. There were reports of a thief lurking around in the town center. The townsfolk are in charge of guard duty. They have a perfect view of all the streets. Their viewing range never overlaps with that. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Ah, there's a way to do this.
That's it, right? They're not blocking anyone. But they have to cover the whole street. That's the thing. And I'm not covering the whole street. Which means we have to fully utilize him to get a good range of a lot of stuff. Alright. So, let's start with this corner over here. We'll put him back for now. Let me see. So right there, that's completely blocked. And if I put damn it, man! I don't like their shapes. They mess up everything. So that's the whole bottom row cover right there. With that. Go like that. Like, come on. How does that work like that? That's stupid. See, so that'll cover that. Or I can leave him there and cover that. I don't know. This is hard.
This is so hard.
I need to cover the map, which makes me mad. These characters, I need to cover the whole area. I'm taking hints. Screw it. First, I want to place the person with the largest view range. The picture below has already placed him for you. Okay, so that's where he goes. So that knocks that out of the thing. Right there. He goes here. Like that. That helps, I think. Knowing that at least. So let's place one of these guys in this cornery thing.
I'm sorry, guys. That you have to watch, like, you know, a full thing of this. Just me fumbling around with the puzzle.
will get this.
Screw it. Screw it. We're taking another hint. We're taking another hint. From the top rightmost square, count 1 square down and place a townswoman. Then again, from the top rightmost square, count 3 squares left and place another townswoman. Okay. So from the top rightmost square, count 1 square down and place a townswoman. Okay. Right there. From, wait, where's my hints? From the top rightmost square, count 3 squares left and place another townswoman. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That goes, this lady. Like boom. There you go. Okay. I can work with this. I hope. I have to be able to work with this, jeez. I can probably place one here. Not like that, right? How do I cover this little circle here, this little end? Do these guys work? No, they don't. Okay, so this one has to go here, probably. Like that. And then this one here. And then this one. Like that. There we go. Whew,
Let's
I did
see
it.
if I've proven myself. Ah, the joy of solving puzzles.
Turns out the dubious-looking gentleman was telling the truth. I would never have guessed such a solution could exist. So, do you believe me now? I was telling the truth. The real culprit must still be on the loose, going around stealing stuff in broad daylight. Men, it looks like we've no choice. Let him go. We better head back to the crime scene and go over it again with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, Captain. Well, I'm glad we were able to sort out the misunderstanding. I don't know who you two are, but you're a bit too sharp to be some regular townsfolk. Not at all. We're nothing so special. Just a couple of regular English gentlemen. English, eh? So what is that, your title? Well, whatever it may be. Well, whatever it may be, it's not normal to be summoned directly by the storyteller himself. It would appear you are indeed something special. The storyteller is in the audience room. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. As for the audience room, it's in the building at the top of those stairs. That building up there. Just as we thought. Thank you. Just mind your manners when in the presence of the storyteller, you hear me? You'll regret it.
We'll be on our best behavior, so please keep your hand off your sword. You're scaring me.
It just goes to show how highly the knights regard the storyteller. Now then, let's move on, Luke.
Right, let's go, Professor.
Okay, let's leave that man behind.
The storyteller should be in here, right? I'm starting to feel a little nervous. This area is totally deserted. All I can hear is the wind.
It looks as if not even the knights are allowed to come up here. It looks as if not even the knights are allowed to come up here.
He really is treated almost like a god. I wonder what someone like that wants to talk to us about.
I don't know. Let's find out. Open the door.
Huh? Professor, the door won't open. Hello? Is anybody there? No reply.
It appears there's no keyhole. This is no ordinary lock mechanism.
Inviting someone to visit you only to lock them out? That's a bit rude.
Just a moment, Luke. If you look closely, you'll see there's a puzzle built in there. I believe this may be a test, Luke. A test to determine whether we qualify for an audience with the storyteller or not.
That's a bit off, isn't it? But when it comes to puzzles, we'll be glad to oblige, won't we, Professor?
Indeed, my boy. Let's show our meta. Oh gosh, this looks hard. Decipher the door. Here's a panel of numbers. The numbers range between 1 and 6. Touching the buttons on the touchscreen will increase and decrease the numbers. Arrange the numbers to read 3333. Do you think you can do it in only 4 turns? Okay.
Hey, that's the Triforce. Like backwards and sideways.
The nether Triforce. There's the Nega Triforce. I think it's called Nega. Nega. Not the bad word. Like nether version in Link Between Worlds or Link Between whatever, I forget. So what does these things do? Three. So these take them down like a big amount. The green ones. Oh wow. Jeez, that was awesome. Damn it.
I'm not gonna be able to get that back, am I?
3.
Damn it. Come on, I can get this.
333.
I forgot that does that. Like, it's like a big change to all of them.
Think. This isn't as hard as the other ones. I just gotta think how to do this. Oh God, 333. I'm gonna screw this up, dude. 333. I hate this. So these all so this one will switch all four of them a certain amount. This one will switch the last one 3 times, and this one 1 time. So 1. These will switch to 2 metal ones. So I can go like that. I can go like that, like that. I get that. And then if I go... Yeah, this is so hard. Back. Ish. That up. Okay, move these two. If I move that up again. And move it up again. I'm gonna go like that. And then I got to take the left side, which is just impossible. At the moment, at least. Okay. 2 up and 2 down. Gosh, I hate this. I'm really just drawing at straws right now. Ah, does this do there? So not cool.
Yes!
I've already seen the answer. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Man, and that's possible in 4 tries? Like, you gotta be a puzzle whiz.
We did it, Professor! That should open the door.
It would seem that we have proven ourselves worthy.
Labyrinthia's creator is waiting for us inside.
The creator of this town. I wonder what he intends to say. Are you all right, Luke? I imagine you must be a little nervous.
Who, me? Well, to be honest, I suppose I am, just a little. But don't worry, Professor. I can do this. Let's go. Let's meet the storyteller.
Very well. Muster your courage. We're going in.
Right you are, Professor.
And thus the guests finally made their appearance. I bid you welcome to Labyrinthia, the town governed by stories. I've been waiting for you, Herschel Layton.
I believe I should say, it is an honor, Mr. Storyteller.
You're the creator of Labyrinthia. But why did you call the Professor here?
I have summoned you so that I may ask you why you are here.
I beg your pardon?
What are you talking about?
In writing the story, I provide everything, and in turn, take everything away. I give each person a story, and weave their intertwining webs of fate. However, it would appear that interlopers have found their way into the story. The two of you.
You mean to say that my presence here was not written in your story?
Precisely. And so I must ask you, exactly how did you find your way into this world?
In truth, we found ourselves here somewhat inadvertently. We were brought here by a book called the Historia Labyrinthia. I am led to believe it was you who wrote that book. Surely you cannot deny it.
It would appear I have found it. The source of the corruption within my story.
Corruption?
In other words, you consider our presence to be a hindrance to your story. Is that correct?
Not only you. There was another man who tried to change the course of my story.
Ah,
You mean Carmina Accidenti?
Carmine. So, There is a connection between him and the two of you after all.
Oops.
Your presence here is, shall I say, a slight inconvenience. The story of Labyrinthia is about to take a turn towards its grand finale.
Grand finale?
Indeed, a conclusion that requires a climax of epic proportions.
Oh, okay. Climactic, epic proportions. I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
The identity of the great witch Espella is made public. She is tried in the court and finally destroyed. At last, peace will be restored to the town. The final scenario is close at hand.
The identity of the Great Witch? Do you mean...
It's true that the townsfolk look at me in a different way. And the reason for that is because I am the storyteller's daughter. You're what? Espella! You're the storyteller's daughter? I didn't see that coming. What? When I first came down into the town, everyone was friendly. Perhaps they thought that if they got to know me, things would go well for them. That was the impression I had. That sounds like the kind of thing people would probably do. But obviously not me. I wouldn't do anything like that. No one's accusing you of anything, Maya. But unfortunately, things didn't work out the way people hoped they would. Well, people should realize that good things don't come easy. Then one day, someone just happened to bump into me in the town, and I was knocked over. Later, that night, that same person was attacked by a witch and killed by her magic. I don't know whether it was just a coincidence or not, but after that, everyone's attitude toward me changed. They started saying things like it's best to keep away from her, or you'll have a bad story written about you. All because I'm the storyteller's daughter. What's the storyteller thinking? What do you mean? Well, he has his daughter stuck in a place like this. And if he didn't write such a bad story, she wouldn't have to suffer like this. You have a good point there, Maya. Anyway, the investigation has only just begun. Espella, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a few more questions. Of course. I'd like to help you in any way I can. I've got to gather as much information as I can. This might be difficult for you to answer, but why are you not living with the storyteller? I mean, with your father. I did live with him before. We lived together on the edge of the town in the storyteller's tower. The storyteller's tower. When I was little, he was very kind and always listened to what I had to say. But then at some point or other, he started to become distant. If you think about it, I guess it's only natural, because he had to write the story for every single person in the town. Espella. As he became busier and busier, I was left alone in the tower. And that's the reason I decided to leave home with Eve and live in the town. I stayed with Aunt Patty and helped out at the bakery. Now you two are at the shop, too, but my dad... What's the deal with the storyteller? I can't believe he'd write a story where his own daughter is the great witch Espella. Maybe the professor will be able to find out the storyteller's true motives. Let's hope. And what about Patty? Does she know anything about your past? Have you ever told her that you're the storyteller's daughter? Yes, she knows. When the other people in town started avoiding me, Aunt Patty was the only one who stood by me the whole time. Yeah, Patty's always looking out for you. There's so much I have to thank her for. It's been 5 years since I left my dad and started living with Aunt Patty. She's always been so kind. She's been like a mother to me. Now that you mention it, what about your real mother, Espella? Actually, I can't remember anything about her. According to my dad, she died in an accident when I was still young. And that's really all I know. He didn't tell me any more than that. I see.
Espella, we believe in you. There's no way you can be the Great Witch Bazella.
That's right. That's right. We'll find the real Great Witch. The real Great Witch. But the Great Witch is only a character of legend. How could you possibly find her?
Well, admittedly, at the moment, we have no real leads.
Actually, to be honest, we know next to nothing about Labyrinthia. We were supposed to have been living with you for 5 years now, but that memory turned out to be completely phony.
Do you have any idea at all, Espella? Anything that could give us a clue? I guess it's a lot to ask.
All magic-related incidents are thoroughly investigated by the Knights of the Inquisition. And if there were any clues as to the whereabouts of the Great Witch, then I believe they would have found them.
I guess you're right.
As far as I know, there's not a single incident that has remained unsolved by the Inquisitors. Wait a minute, that's not right.
What is it, Maya?
The part about being no unsolved incidents left. What? Last night, me and Luke ran into the Inquisitor, Darklaw. High Inquisitor.
Wait, what? You saw High Inquisitor Darklaw?
Yep, she said she was investigating some kind of incident with magic. She said that it took place 3 months ago, I think. Apparently, it's the only incident that has remained unsolved.
An unsolved incident?
Oh! Now that you mention it, I remember hearing rumors about such a case.
The only magic incident in Labyrinthia to remain unsolved, huh? Espella, about that incident, could you tell us about it in more detail? I'll have to ask you to stop right there, Defender. Visiting time is up. You're to leave immediately.
No way! We just got to the good part. Mr. Wright, Maya. I really don't know much about that incident, but perhaps you could try asking an Inquisitor about it?
Okay, Espella. Thanks for the help.
Alright, we'll see you again real soon. Keep your spirits up, Espella. Thank you. Take care, both of you.
Damn. I believe in her. 100%.
Mr. Wright, Maya. They're both doing so much for me. I wonder if there's anything I could do for both of them in return. The Great Witch Bazella. Until now, I hadn't given it much thought.
The Great Witch. The legendary fire. Flames. Inferno.
Oh my... What is this? My head hurts.
What was that? That inferno. Were these things my memories?
This town's one and only unsolved incident of magic.
I'm sure she said something about an alchemist who lost their life to a witch.
An alchemist was attacked? Huh, that sounds like a serious case. You got that from High Inquisitor Darklaw, right?
That's right. When I was searching for Eve last night. I meant to tell you about it, but it totally slipped my mind.
The only unsolved incident, huh? That's suspicious, alright. This might just be the lead that will take us to the Great Witch.
Okay, let's get to investigating. We can do this thing.
Yeah, so, I guess first we should check out the Inquisitor's Hall. We might just learn something there.
Sure, let's get going.
On the other hand, we may just learn how unwelcome we are there.
Hey, come on, Nick. Enough with that wishy-washy attitude.
I didn't even say anything.
She can read my mind. Literally.
Wait a minute. That aggressive bark. Please tell me that isn't...
Aha! It's Constantine. He looks happy to see us.
Wish I could say the feeling was mutual. Once bitten, twice shy. That pretty much sums me up right now.
Really? I don't know. I think he's looking much friendlier today, if you ask me. See? Come on, Nick. Pet him just once.
This mutt really hates me. Well, if If it isn't Sir Blue Knight, exactly what are you doing over there on all fours?
Oh, Inquisitor Barnum. I'm glad to see you again. Actually, there's something we'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick, stand up already.
I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face. Pfft, how foolish. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion. He is. He needn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you. Yeah, I had a hunch. So Constantine really is your dog, huh? I admire the nerve of this guy. He just sits back and lets his dog bite people. I mean me. Never mind that. What is it that you want to talk about? Just make it quick, Sir Blue Knight. So, you Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you? Yes, of course.
If you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about that unsolved incident with magic.
There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of the Inquisition excel at their work. Right. All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors without exception. Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we heard different. Apparently, there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved.
Something about an alchemist being murdered? Ring any bells?
What? Who did you get that information from? We are, well, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Well, why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time. Huh? How is it my fault? The High Inquisitor has put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Well, I suppose that leaves nothing for it. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves. Please, go ahead. We're all ears. It was 3 months ago that an alchemist living near the town square was murdered.
Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kinda lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic?
When it comes to something that difficult, it will do no good asking me.
Huh?
It seems that while the townspeople respected him, they also treated him with caution. They respected him? He used his skills to make medical concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficacy, I'm assuming efficiency, of his cures was almost like magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduke by the townspeople. At any rate, it's safe to say that Sir Belduke was no witch.
How can you say for sure?
That's simple. Sir Belduke was a man. Well, can't really argue with that. Sir Belduke came to a mysterious end 3 months ago.
How's that? Just because he's a man, he can't be a witch? There's warlocks, you know.
Whatever. A mysterious end. There were two things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way that the crime could have been committed except by witchcraft.
Isn't that what people call a locked room mystery?
Oh man, the locked room mysteries, where there's no like way in, but there's their body in there. There's no way in, no way out, but they're in there and they get out without the stuff. A what? Oh, it's nothing really. So, what was the other mysterious thing? Secondly, until then, all incidents involving witches had been foretold in the story. Foretold in the story. In other words, predicted by the storyteller. However, the murder of Sir Belduke did not appear in the story. Such a thing had never occurred before. So not only was this the only unsolved incident in Labyrinthia's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. This definitely sounds worth investigating. You certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? You really think you can solve this incident alone, when the Knights of the Inquisition have been working it for 3 months? I must say, that is some confidence. We won't know unless we try. You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witches' vengeance. I'm hoping that was a joke. Well, I suppose you may as well take a look. Who knows, you may even find something. Sir Belduke's residence is just beyond the town square. Ask anyone around there, they'll soon point you in the right direction. Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court. I'll see you then, Inquisitor.
They got a little rivalry thing. I don't know. He don't compare to Edgeworth, but he's got his own little thing. Oh God. That dog wants to tear me a new one.